morning, everyone. As we're just starting, again, it's a little cooler out today. Fireplace comes in handy, that's for sure. And I trust you're all safe, enjoying the changes in weather. You have to walk a little fast if you want to get warm. So we're going to tackle something that's a little difficult. Good morning, Wendy. Sorry about your puppy. And I know you'll get through it. Ellen, good morning. Say hi to Chris for me, will you? Hope you're keeping safe over there. And we got a few more folks as they're coming in and things are tagging on. I don't know how many we're going to have this morning, but we'll start and go there, okay? We're dealing with 1 Peter 1 and 7. The genuineness of your faith being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to praise, honor, and glory at the revelation of Jesus Christ. You might say that this COVID experience is a trying experience, trying of your faith, I guess. Good morning, Belle. How are you this morning? Trust you keep busy. Get ready to start planting the garden out back there. Anyway, trying of your faith. Oh my goodness, Pastor, you couldn't have picked a harder subject to talk about when we're going through all this stuff. And it's so inconvenient for us to have to do this. I was watching a report of a young girl who's about 10 years old, who's gathering water for her mother in a refugee camp this morning. And good morning, Ann. And so she's explaining online what she has to go through every day to make sure the family has water. And in a refugee camp, of course, they have a tap that just runs water and it runs down into the well and back up again, runs down into the well. And so everyone has to come to the same conclusion that they have to get water. Well, when they come at the certain times, it gets crowded. So she has to be up at the crack of dawn to get in there and get water for the family. The two of them, she brings her little sister with her. Good morning, Susan. And she puts this 5-gallon pail on her head and a smaller pail on her sister's head. And the two of them carry, imagine this, well, about 7 gallons of water. Every day they have to do this. And you think you're inconvenienced because you have to go to a tap, or you have to go here, or you have to go there, or you're stuck at home. At least you have shelter, you have heat. They're in a small little building with a tin roof and tin sided walls, and it's cold at night, as I'm sure you can understand. And there's no running water. There's no running toilets. There's 2 toilets in the whole camp, and everybody has to use them. Trying of one's faith. The trying of one's faith lends itself to circumstance. And so, is he God of my circumstance? Well, we struggle as human beings with letting God have the emotions behind our circumstance. It's hard to give him the trust, and it's hard to walk in faith that God is trying to refine our character in the midst of difficulties. So good morning, Amanda. Hello to all the boys and your hubby, and thank you for tuning in. Always caring about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus Christ, 2 Corinthians 4:10. So we are to remember that Jesus died for us. Jesus went through sorrows for us. Rather than focusing on our self-pity for circumstance. We're supposed to focus on our faith and relationship in Jesus Christ and be nice in the midst of circumstance. So this young girl was trying to explain to folks, when you give to food relief, these are the people you're giving to. This is her daily life. This is what she does. They don't have a lot of toys. Interesting enough, someone gave them a Lego set, and there's only a few pieces of Lego, but 6 kids play with one little set of Lego, and they take turns building stuff with the Lego set. Can you imagine? We think about all the inconveniences that we are having, but when you compare the inconvenience to someone else, and that someone else is finding joy or finding how to be nice in the midst of negative circumstances, it reminds us in our personal lesson from the Word on how to be right with God. So 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. And 1 Peter 1 to 7. And I'll say those again so you can note them down if you like. But 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. And these texts focus on, in 1 Peter 1 and 7, circumstances. How you look at them, how you react to them, what you do with them. It all takes a lot of choices that we have to make. And we need to know that complaining doesn't help. And we like to complain. We feel we have a right to complain. We want others to agree with our complaint. We want to gather those to us, and in James chapter 4, it talks about that as well, is that we want to find comfort in someone agreeing with our complaint. But the truth is, we don't have a lot to complain about. We have so much in this land, and we have so many privileges, and others have none. Absolutely none. And if I could quote from 1 Peter 1 and 8, it goes like this: whom having not seen you love, and though now you do not see him, yet believing you rejoice with joy inexpressible and full of glory. We're supposed to love in spite of, not because of, in spite of. For God so loved the world that he gave. For love is of God. And if you love God, then you'll love others. You don't love the experience, you don't love the negative, but it is a refining tool. Satan uses it for a negative, God uses it for good, to try to help us work on our personal character on how to be nice. Nice words get nice back. Sowing nice words creates nice around you, shows the love of the Father. If your heart is hurting and you don't know how to respond except through hurt, then what you have to do is you have to step back and say, I choose this day, I'm going to respond this way instead of this way. And it requires a lot of self-control and self-discipline and monitoring yourself and your speech and how you care for people. Remembering, love is an act of demonstration. For God so loved the world, he gave. And that's the key. A lot of us today would rather have everyone give us what we want for us to indulge us. And that's not what Jesus died on the cross for. And so there's a stepping aside from the culture of me into the culture of we. And so, as some have said online, Stop thinking about the me. We've been told in our culture, it's all about you. You get to have whatever you want, and you can have it now. And so we've listened to this, and we've enjoyed it, and we've nourished this, and now it's a tree or a weed, if you will, in our lives and in our hearts. And we need to go, wrong weed or wrong tree. You nurtured the wrong thing. And it's not bringing you happy fruit. It's not bringing you joyful fruit. It's not bringing you love or joy or peace. What it is bringing is difficulty into your spirit. And you have to step back and look at this weed and say, that's not a flower, sunshine. That's not helping things. It's not making you happy. At first you thought it was just a flower that's going to bloom and look nice and pretty. But pretty soon the thorns of it start to prick into your life and into your heart. And that's where increased sorrow. And if we don't want to recognize that we need to deal with this weed, then what we will end up doing is we'll end up isolating ourselves away from the very people we should be knowing and loving and caring about. So as you're walking these difficult days out, as you're tested in the fire, remember that fire brings forth pure gold, and all the dross comes off. And so that's a real difficult process that when you're in the fire. It's nice to have a controlled fire over here. It's nice to have it, you know, warming, and the dog's over here in the green chair, and he likes it here. Every morning it seems that when I have the fireside chat, he crawls up into this chair and he wants to have a nice, warm, friendly fire too. But fire, when it's not in its right place, can be very destructive. And with anything, the right circumstances in the right place can very well be constructive. But in the wrong place, in the wrong hands, they can be very destructive. So the lesson today is, remember, when you're being refined, put a smile on your happy face. I seen a nurse the other day. She had a mask on, and it had a big set of lips. And when she opened the mask, there's another bigger set of teeth. It looked like the lips of a horse with a full set of teeth in front. I had to laugh. I thought, oh my goodness. See, what do you do with your circumstance? She turned it around and to make everybody smile. And she did this for helping the patients cope with the isolation and the lack of seeing family and friends, and the difficulty of being sick and not being visited and not being cared for, and by a family way. But they have nursing staff there, but you know what? It's not the same as when family come to pay a visit and take care of you. So remember, be careful out there, love one another, try to be nice, try really hard to be nice. Hi Sandra, hi Rachel, glad you tuned in. Just go to the front of the video and we'll see how to improve. In fact, I think you've done a real good job, Sandra, of being patient and kind and working through the transition from this house to that farmhouse and all the stuff that had to be going through. It was a real refining of your character, and it continues. And as you walk through life, remember, you're blessed. You're blessed to have a farmhouse. You're blessed to have a farm. There's many people that would love to have all of that, and God has blessed you so. So pay attention, folks. Be careful out there. Be nice. Be safe. And have a great day. And don't forget, tune in on Sunday. I won't be the speaker. Ann will. It's Mother's Day. It's that tradition. She said, I need to be the speaker. Okay, so we're going to give her a run at the ropes. And it's going to be a fireside chat with Annie on Sunday morning. Oh my goodness. We'll have to get used to that. Anyhow, I hope she doesn't hurt my rocking chair, you know. I hope she just keeps it nice and warm for me for Monday morning to come and see you guys, and look forward to seeing you again. Remember, like and share, and if you need to connect electronically to get a hold of us about issues of food insecurity or people you know with food insecurity, hey, you know where to reach out. Get a hold of us. Get a hold of Andrea, Noah's Ark, EPT website. Email us. We'll get the info and we'll be sure to contact the people. Give us phone numbers and names and we'll follow through. And thank you for doing the Lord's work out there. Be nice, be careful, and have a great day. God bless.